Donald Trump's conviction just fired back heavy for the Democrats. We have California sheriffs in, he's switching teams.
Hello, California. It's Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco. You know, for the past 30 years, I've been doing everything I could to keep our community safe by arresting criminals and putting them in jail and putting them in prison, keeping them out of our neighborhoods. For the last 5 years, I've been very critical about our governor for slashing our budgets from corrections, for letting prisoners out early, for closing our prisons. I've been critical of our state legislature for passing laws to make it harder to put people in prison. I've been critical for their changing laws that let prisoners out early. And I've been critical for our Attorney General for seemingly not caring about crime and really being an embarrassment to law enforcement. And this love affair that our governor and our state legislature have with criminals is based on the belief that criminals are not responsible for their own actions. They're a victim of society. And really, it's our fault. It's society's fault. It's business's fault. It's cops' fault. It might be my fault. Law enforcement, apparently, if you listen to our governor, is systemically racist. If you listen to our legislature, our laws are systemically racist. Our judicial system is systemically racist. All of these people that are being put in jail are because of law enforcement bias and DA bias and all of these things. And so they let them out. They give them food. They give them housing. They give them money. They give them drugs and alcohol now. And I got to be honest, I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired. And I'm wondering if I'm having a change of heart and deciding that, you know what, maybe I've been wrong. And I think I'm going to change teams. I know it's going to make some of you angry. I know that you're going to be mad at me, but I'm going to change teams. I think they're onto something, but I don't think they're doing enough. I think that we need to go big. You know me, go big or go home. You're the biggest, you do the best, you're the best at everything, and you might as well do something right if you're going to do it. And I'm all in. And I hope that you're all with me. I hope that you all have this change of heart. You all feel that this is definitely the right thing to do, and you come alongside me in this venture. And I think it's time that instead of letting them out of jail and giving them alcohol and drugs and everything else, I think it's time we put a felon in the White House. Trump 2024, baby. Let's save this country and make America great again.
I love that slogan he said right there. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and put a felon in the White House. You know what I'm saying? It's about time that we do. Obviously, I'm not going to sit here and try to say that I'm going to convince you guys to join me. Hold on. I'm going to move the microphone. I create a little bit of issue with the audio. But anyhow, yeah. I know that I wouldn't be able to say that on this platform, but, you know, shout out to him, you know, for being able to put the message out there. I would imagine following Donald Trump's conviction and people actually seeing the lawfare that's actually been able to get away with. You have people in those positions with common sense who's just like, I don't know if I can just put up with this anymore. I don't know how many times I'll be able to pass, or be able to excuse and defend all of this BS that's happening on my team. He's like, the whole way through, he says he's switching teams, but we already know what that means. He's been red pilled, and he made that even more evident by saying, you know, Trump 2024. But yeah, man, they fed up. They are fed up. And Trump, we know that Biden he's proven that if you're going to continue to vote the same, you're going to continue to get the same. And in this case, it backfired 10 times harder for all of us in America. But I really want y'all to think about the irony of this, though, right? It's rich, right? Think about it. A law enforcement officer supporting a convicted felon for president. Y'all don't see how powerful this is? Man, not only that, Trump also raised over $50 million in 24 hours. Wow. Law enforcement supporting a convicted felon is wild in these streets, right? Oh man, Trump is out here winning.
Let me say this. My mind was not made up before, but it is definitely made up now. And I will definitely be voting for Donald Trump because the weaponization of the legal system, it is so blatant, and this corruption cannot stand. Whether I like Donald Trump or not, which I don't, I feel that it is essential that I vote for him because I must stand against the lawfare that was put on display by the Democratic Party, Alvin Bragg, all of these folks. And it's a shame because I'm a New Yorker. I live here in New York. And as a black man who lives in the United States and in New York, I know what it's like to have the legal system used against you, specifically targeting you. So, I mean, bro, at the end of the day, to expect us to just sit back and watch this happen and just ride with it like it's okay, like we're stupid and we don't see what's going on, that's crazy. Because if you can do something like this to a former president of the United States, just imagine, people, imagine what they can do to us. I'm sorry, but I'm all in. Trump 2024.
This backfired 10 times harder, right? Now you got people who don't even support Donald Trump saying, hey, you know what, I got to vote for him. I got to put in that work for, Trump after I'm seeing what's happening to him. And he's also relating Trump's struggle to the struggle of a New York black man in terms of being targeted and things of that nature. I don't live in New York. I don't know the climate out there really too much. As it relates to that, I only know what I see on the news. But yeah, man, this is the Democrats' worst nightmare. Oh my gosh, my allergies are eating me alive right now, y'all. I'm sorry, it feels too good to stop. But yeah, this is the Democrats' worst nightmare right here. Even the people whom are like, you know what, I don't even support Trump, are coming in waves, to say, you know what we're seeing right now, that isn't appropriate, and I can't sit back and stand with this. You got the sheriff of California, you got New Yorkers who aren't even conservative or Democrat, or conservative or Republican. I don't really know much, so I'm just assuming that he's not, because he said he's not voting. He's not in support of Trump. But it gets even crazier out here, man.
People, it doesn't matter how or what you feel about Donald Trump, but if you're a true student of the Constitution, if you're a student of law, even if you have a moral standard of justice, all of America ought to be afraid right now for that man to be convicted without the right to adequately defend himself from charges that weren't even stated. We've lost our republic.
Definitely.
Our Constitution is dead. And everyone else in America, we ought to be afraid for ourselves. It's not a good thing. And for those that think it is, that's the enemy.
You Democrats should have listened to your boy Frank Luntz when he told you the feedback he was getting from African American men. Y'all should have listened. Instead, he decided to wrongfully convict Donald Trump in New York. And you're planning on going around everywhere saying, Donald Trump is a convicted felon. Donald Trump's a convicted felon.
Oh, Lord.
Hey, you're presenting yourself as the system that black men do not like. The system that black men will gladly vote against. Hispanic men will gladly vote against. Hispanics are already planning on voting for Trump. More blacks than ever before were already planning on voting for Donald Trump. But the amount of African Americans that are going to vote for Donald Trump after you wrongfully convicted him it's gonna fucking explode. You thought it was bad before the verdict? You just made it 1,000 times worse. But you guys are too deranged and unhinged to actually think these things out. You think, okay, we just need to, arrest them and wrongfully convict them, put them in a rigged trial in a rigged district, fully Democrat district, and it'll be fine, right? Nah, that black vote's about to go crazy for Donald Trump. You gave it fucking rocket fuel. It's about to explode in the ozone layer, the stratosphere. It's gonna take us into a galaxy far, far away, that black vote is. Y'all should have thought about that shit before you did this. At first, I was upset about this verdict. Now I think it's hilarious, because y'all just fucked yourselves with a cactus up.
Totally agree. If y'all done anything right, it was wake people up. honestly, in wake of all this. Hell, somebody said even my great grandmother, who's 95 years old, lifelong Democrat, is going to vote for Trump this year. Check this clip out.
Now, we see in polling that minority voters, Black and brown Americans, are starting to shy away from the Democrat Party. And that is also what we saw on the ground.
I'll go anywhere I have to show that other Black people are changing. They're changing their mindset. Like, even my great grandmother, 95 years old, lifelong Democrat, is going to vote for Trump this year. She said Biden is out of control.
Trump trails Biden by 9 points here in New York and the Empire State. But he definitely got a warm welcome last night, guys. And honestly, that's putting it mildly. People were very excited to be at that rally.
And last but not least, to add insult to injury, Jesse Waters is going to be explaining this clip from Joe Biden last night when he was asked, pretty much just in a nutshell, are these Biden trials that are going against, Donald Trump? And he just smirked. The way he smirked, man, you got to see it with your own too.
Picture is worth 1,000 words. So what do you think Biden's saying here?
Mr. President, can you tell us, sir, Donald Trump refers to himself as a political prisoner and blames you directly. What's your response to that, sir? Do you think the conviction will have an impact on the campaign? We'd love to hear your thoughts, sir.
Do y'all see this man? Y'all see this smirk? Hold on. Let's do a play-by-play real quick. We're going to rewind it just a little bit. Hold on. Mr. President, can you tell us, sir, Donald Trump refers to himself as a political prisoner and he blames you directly.
As a political prisoner and blames you directly. What's your response to that, sir? Do you think the conviction will have an impact on the campaign? We'd love to hear your thoughts, sir.
No, we don't. We would not.
That sinister grin may as well have been a confession. Later, he was questioned by Peter Doocy.
Do you think this conviction helps Trump in the election? Are you worried that this could happen to you someday? Somebody comes up with some charges and tries to bring you into court after your term?
Not at all. I didn't do anything wrong. The system still works.
And when Trump says you're just trying to
wow.
What do you say? Politically, he thinks you're pulling the strings behind the scenes, doing all this to help yourself.
I didn't know it was that powerful.
Talking about he didn't know he was that powerful. Actually, I believe him. I think he knows that he's powerful. He just forgot. Genuinely. Just like he's sitting here forgetting that the American people, man, we ain't going for this BS no more, man. We ain't going for this, dog. And that smirk literally was a confession. Let me know in the comments. Do y'all think that smirk was the confession or not? Because for me, it was like, yeah, I'm going after him.